today we're doing, I think, mostly just like fundamental foundation stuff while we wait for the big stuff to finish up. Stuff like getting the Miner Mark II set up, even though I don't necessarily need them. Expanding our smelting platform to just have that done. I was considering the idea of having all of the raw ore just fly into a big smelting facility that I built in the water, and I think I might still do that. I kind of like that idea. Because I don't need raw ore for anything except the raw iron goes in for steel, was it? So that'll stay. That'll stay. But the rest of this can just head off into a smelting building. And that'll give me a little more room again, kind of. It'll at least clean up outside a little bit. A brute force refresh. That's a way of putting it. I think they're still working on including more features of the game before they finish it. Yeah, I think so too. Like, I think there's still a couple tiers that aren't in yet, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. It's just one of those things that's like, when do you consider it done? You know? I guess we'll get that going. See what that turns into. That'll take a half hour. So I guess we'll start doing the smelting building first. Because, like, one of these miners, because these are pure nodes, a Mark II miner can feed into 8 smelters, I think. So it will be a little bit wild. The smelters being... what is that? Like 2 tiles, basically, I guess? Well, kind of 1 tile. We can comfortably fit 1 of these per tile, I think. But they're too long. So we'd have to make sure that it's at least 2 deep, and then 8 across, at least. I'd probably have it go... Because if you're just like plopped in the center there, we could probably go 4 deep and still have enough room to get belts where I need between. Because I could have 1 there. And maybe I go like 5. Like 5 or 6 deep and at least 8 across will be the goal. I need a bunch more concrete. Hello, Jason. How you doing? Personally, doing quite okay. Quite happy that the heat's gone. Man. They have at least 1 major content patch like the trains and the nuke one. Planned. Oh, okay. Like another big, huge, major one. Cool. I will, for the moment, grab up some of these steel beams. Jesus, you're completely full of steel beams? No, okay. Not quite. You got a backlog. Okay. Well, you can have some of this back then. Okay. Pipes might be completely full. Yeah, pipes are completely full. That's a good problem to have. Okay, because we'll be using those things for the Mark III belts, which I will be... Yeah, I need that for the coal, because we have to sort the coal too. Load balance of coal, figure out where I'm bringing coal and why, and how much should I actually need, and... yeah, I never grabbed concrete. It's still 32 there. Well, you're in, like, California, though. That doesn't count. Deal with it. Jesus Christ. Man, fuck California. California and Florida are just 2 places I'd be miserable living in. I'd be both broke and hot all the time, always. I need to link up with the grid somehow. I think you're linked up with the grid, right? I made sure I did that. Yeah, I think so. Yes and no. Okay. Well, maybe you're not linked up with the grid, although it made sure that you were. I don't know. I don't know. just to make sure everything is eventually able to be linked up nice and cleanly. I'll just build a foundation off of this guy. Ugh. Not quite. Do I not have my jumpy things on? I do. I did get explosives, by the way. Yes, I forgot to answer that. Sorry. That has been gotten. I haven't really blown up any plants yet, but I will. Okay, so that's one. Man, these turn drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That technically works. Okay. It won't be this high, but it will come out about this much. There. And the floor itself, maybe the slightly shorter one, and then we'll use the big ones as like support beams down into the water. Two, three, four, five. Yeah, you have to come out to here. Don't think I got the room here. But back there I do. WD-40 with cyber containers not being fast enough. Yeah, for about a day until it clogs up with dust and shit. Fuck WD-40. Man. Honestly, if you're looking for grease, pick up one that's just got like this really old school imagery that'll be called like Bud's Loose Stuff or something. Just this ridiculous name that's like, what the fuck? It'll actually be the best damn grease you've ever had. You'll be able to find it at exactly one store. They'll have exactly one facing of it, and there'll always just be one or two left. That's how you know it's good. That's just how it works. I don't know why. It just is. I mean, I guess I could maybe also, but that's a pretty tall one there. So building this up won't help me too much. Might have to be kind of a sideways thing. Like, this is the 8 across that we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're almost there. Not entirely sure how I'm doing this yet. Would not advise fucking WD-40, it stings. I'll believe it. I'll take your word for it. Two, three, four. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll just build a bunch of foundation and we'll just see where things fit. And we'll go from there. Like this back row, I don't think will work. This bit here, I don't think will work. But I'll put it up anyway, you never know. Maybe it can be a funny looking building. And we got a little more room here if I need it. Okay. So smelters, and then we'll also need at some point a cool stairway area to get up to another floor. Need more pipes. I mean, I guess it doesn't, they don't each need to have their own tile. That leaves a lot of space between. And as long as you're back from the wall a bit, by like half a tile, I can probably route the conveyor belt however I need. But I really think sideways like this would be best. For input-output, might make it a little bit easier for me. So let's see about getting rid of this back row. So there's 5 smelters. They might need to be back from the wall a little bit more. I'm not really sure. And for a wall, you might actually have to move a little bit. I'll probably have to shimmy them all. But if I were to do wall conveyor belts, yeah, it gets a bit odd. You two would maybe work with a double, but then we need like a weird gap, and then you get a single. And then you two get a single, and you, okay. We're gonna have to do like this really weird mix of double windows and doorways and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be strange. Or I could just do the 3 input walls, just be done with it, but man, I really hate having the open conveyor holes. I don't like them. But for the sake of brevity, I might just go ahead and do that. But first, shove all these over a little bit more. Man. What the fuck am I doing? Jeez. Alright. And now, you know what? Fuck it. It'll take so long otherwise. There. Plenty of inputs there, tentatively. And then we can do more. Because there's plenty of room. I could maybe even get a 3rd row going. I don't know. You'd have to have room for a lift, which I think is 4. But then your output would need to work. Was it 3 or 4? Okay, 3 works. Okay. So technically 6 away should work. Yo. Okay, it works. So technically I could do that. But then we run into a bit of a shortage of land here. So if we're calling this the edge of it, then fine. We'll have more smelters on this side. This is going to be a very expensive building power-wise, I just realized. We still have a bit of a power crisis going on. Alright, wow, that's spooky. Plenty of room for all that, though, and also mergers and stuff. Oh, yeah, we still have a bit of room. I might have to scoot them in a little bit. I might have moved them too far. I think I will, just to be safe. Because some of these are pretty wild angles. One, two, three, four, five? Just four. Pretty sure I was going just four on these. One, two, three, four. Yeah, four. Alright. Okay, that looks a bit better. And I have plenty of room to operate with. Yeah, I'll have to do power first before I can even consider hooking all this up. This is going to be way too much as it currently is. Because I still have an upper floor to do too for the copper and all that. Going to be a pretty wild building, but it should give me enough room to smelt down everything that I ever need to smelt. And I think we'll have to go up the third one, it looks like. And then the foundation at the top of that. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're looking at currently. 8 plates. So, yeah, the power situation required Caterium wire. I wanted to do this for some reason. Quick wire and rubber. I don't remember why I wanted to, but okay, I'll do it. Each fuel generator generates 150 megawatts. What did my coal give? The Deuterium 9 wires thingy. Yeah, that's right. The coal currently gets 50. Oh shit. Okay, that's a good deal. And then rubber, which I'll need some fuel for, which I didn't put away. Fuel, I can just make it the craft bench. Yo. Okay. But I think I've got some still on some line somewhere. Alright, yeah, because I unlocked the new way to do copper wire, which gave me a lot more copper wire. But I didn't really have a use for copper otherwise, though, right? Was the thing? Not yet. I'm sure later on I might. So it's one of those, like, really weird things where, yeah, I get a lot more, but then I have nothing to do with copper. You know what? You will always throw me off. Yeah, but I'm using you as a foundation. Alright, fine. I was gonna move the door back, so I knew better when to, blah. That's not rubber. Okay. Well, let me grab up a few belts here. Fuel! Purple oil. And these are just Mark 1 belts. You had found some nice alternate recipes that utilize copper things. Okay. I mean, like, instead of doing an iron plate, it's now a copper plate or something, but it still works. Because stuff like that would be totally fine. Because if I'm using the Deuterium for the copper wiring, then I've got a bunch of copper sitting and doing nothing and has no purpose at all. So I think it's one of those things where I'll go ahead and research it, so I've got it, but I don't think I'm going to switch over to it right away. There's really no, like, reason to. Rubber. Rubber's easy to make. Wow. Just make a bunch of it, you never know. Stacks to 100, we'll leave it at that, though. For the moment. Reinforced plate that uses copper wire instead of screws. I think that's the one that I've got, yeah. I think that might be like one of like the first or second hard drive that I had gotten, which is a really good one. You know, that's yeah. It's really nice. I need more plates though, which I don't know if I can currently fix. You're making rods. You're making rods. You're making plates. Not overclocked. But you're making plates that go mixing with this guy. Right. You're not getting your ingots fast enough, though. I'll have to sort that later. But you guys are heading off through that window. Right, yeah, you guys are heading off to the plates. So why are you not getting your iron fast enough? Some of these lawns are like totally backed up. What? Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure out some mix of splitting and merging and all that to make it work. Man, you just don't output very quickly. What's your story? That's just how you are. That alone might do it. The one guy wasn't behind very much. So 45 per minute are coming out. And they split. One of you, I think, was coming into you, which is full. That seems to be okay. Or not yet, though. But it might just be taking a minute for it all to catch up because it's all a Mark 1 belt. Yeah, not quite. Ah, well. Power-wise, yeah, still a little bit of headroom. It doesn't matter because we'll be tearing this all down in a minute anyway, but there. Okay, that should be that settled. So, power generation. Tier 6, the fuel generator. I need more heavy modular frames and computers, which I had to turn off plastic production, I'm pretty sure, so we don't have any more of these sitting and waiting. Circuit board production, yeah. Heavy modular frames are still going though, so that's good. I will take that. You can resupply yourself, and I'll make some by hand. Get a few more of the modular frames. Jesus Christ, the wires. There we go. Seven. Oh, screws? Or, nah, pipes. Okay. This'll be a minute. So how we doing today, everyone? Screws, I don't think I have coming into here. How many hard drives are actually out in the world? I'm assuming enough that you could get all the recipes plus some. Nearly there. Hello, Karen. Just finished your last night shift for this rotation. So you switch over to a new shift for a little while then, and that's just how it is. More modular frames. "67 crash sites. A total of 67 hard drives could theoretically be obtained. 8 require materials not currently available in early access." Are there that many alternate recipes, though? 'Cause that's a lot. Goes days for a few, then back shift, night shift, into cover shift, and then back to day shit. Nice. I don't think I would like that. Yeah, I don't think I'd like that. I'm not sure I'd be able to do that very well. That'd be tough. Like, I've done a little bit of shift bouncing, and it's not so bad if you're just doing it as like a 1 or 2 off type thing. But, like, having to constantly do that over and over and over again would be rough. Let's put away those. And this. The coal, I don't need. This 1 Caterium, I don't need. The rest of it's kind of whatever. 55 wire, we can get rid of 13 concrete, it's whatever. Just round them off. 1 heavy modular frame. Guess I'll hang on to it. Is there a, do you need some? Yeah, you do. There you go. Alright. Computers. Which I'll need a bunch of plastic for. Cables, screws, plastic, and circuit boards. And circuit boards require plastic and wire. So grab a bunch of the crude oil for plastic and possibly some more wire. Is it faster if I just... Yeah, not really. Okay. Out of the 67 available hard drives, there are only 39 known unlockable recipes and 2 inventory expansions. Alright. So that's good. You don't need to get all of them. About half will work, which is quite nice. Still a lot, still a big undertaking. Wire I still need more of. Maybe cable. probably need a lot more of this crude oil too. I use a bunch of plastic in computers. Caffeine's in a higher concentration in your body than blood right now. Ah, that makes 3 of us then. And demands AFK for a minute. Yeah, let's just make as many circuit boards as I can currently. Need a shitload more fuel. Probably not enough. May as well, right? At the rate this is going. Encroaching. Yeah, okay, it's actually not. Encroaching? On what? Alright, you then. What? Probably the power pole or something. Okay. So they're doing that. I'll very likely be back for more. And we'll pick up more... No, it might be okay. Unlockable circuit board recipe that uses only rubber and copper wire. Ooh. I might have seen that actually. I think I passed it up. Because I was like, rubber? How the hell? But rubber's actually really easy to make. My bad. Turn this all into plastic. And then like a third of it into circuit boards or something like that. About half. Ish. More plastic and screws will be a thing. Oh yeah, my paint gun's stored away. That's the biggest benefit that I can see currently to the industrial storage, is that you can get 2 ins and 2 outs, so you can really quickly move stuff in or move stuff out. It's also kind of nice being able to just have like a mixed storage thing like what I've got going on here with the iron plates and pipes. Just, you know, throw them in there however they need to. That's kind of nice. What am I needing now? More fucking plastic. Jesus. Whoops. Let me dump in what I've got currently. Man, my inventory is massive. When did that happen? Explosives gave me some more slots. I know explosives gave me another hand slot, so I've got like 5 of those or something. Really adds up, because I don't really pay attention to when the things give me another inventory slot or not. I guess there's been quite a few though. Oops. Oh well. Five inventory and an arm, the explosives. Alright. Yeah, I didn't even notice. It's just one of those things where it's just like, oh cool, I have a bunch now. Nice. Done. Mein Gott. Go!
Milestone reached. The fuel generator will match power generation to the increased consumption of recently acquired technologies and buildings. Additionally, improved conveyor belts can now be constructed.
I'm scared. Mark 4 with the encased industrial beams. 480 resources per minute. Oh my god. Oh, that's scary fast. That is scary fast. I can't. He can't fight it. Oh, man. That is insane. Oops. And speaking of, since I've got this mostly done, I can't build underwater right now. Annoying! Ish. It gets the point across. Okay. So what do I need now? For a fuel generator. Yeah, of course. Oh my god, you're fucking massive. Okay. I was hoping it'd be a lot more condensed. But alright. So we'll do, oh man. It says no connection, which worries me a little bit, but I think that's just a display bug. Does more everything mean mods or new content or just more building? Scaling up. I'm doing more of everything currently. I don't think there's been a big update recently. Unless I somehow missed it. It's happened before. Sometimes the game will just like kind of launch and there'll actually be an update waiting, but it didn't tell me there's an update waiting. I don't know. It's weird like that sometimes. How do I want to do this? Because I'd like to have... Because I liked what Valkyrie was saying the other day about having a bit of coal power generating for the processing of the fuel for the fuel generators. I like that idea. But I'm not entirely sure how necessary it actually is. Because you guys are outputting. And I was going to do a couple more of the fuel processors here. You know nothing around this game other than the intro. Ah, well, welcome. It's a fun game. It's got its issues. It's annoying in some cases, but it's good. A lot of tearing down and putting up, though, I'm noticing. Much more so than Factorial. Like, something like Factorial, you sort of just build upon continuously. And there's some areas that are a bit shit, and you tear it down and redo it and reorganize it, but for the most part, you can kind of just, like, build on. Satisfactory, though, it's not quite the case. It's a lot of tearing down and putting back up. And then shit like this, you can't make good, because I can't slightly adjust these belts to keep them in line with one another. It is what it is. Drives me a little bit insane, but oh well. Well, I guess I'll put the materials together for a couple fuel generators at least. More heavy modular frames and computers and cables, which means I need more plastic, of course. Ugh, always more plastic. Yeah, it's a good point too, Leffler. As long as I've just got like a little bit of fuel spare to keep me going, it'll pay for itself and then some. Because one fuel generator would be able to power then like if they're 150, I think the fuel processors are 50 each. So I think that'll be okay if we just kind of just everything on its own like same circuit. That should be okay, I guess. Well, there's 5. There's enough for one of them, at least. I need more cables, plastic, screws, then heavy modular frame stuff. $675 plastic. Oh man. Yeah, the rubber and copper wire alternate recipe would be a really good one. Because you make what, 3 plastic in one go, whereas you make 4 rubber in one go. So you make more rubber than you do plastic anyway. And then you just throw some copper wiring into it, which I'd have an abundance of through the Caterium wire alternative. Or even just normal copper wire base, that'd be fine too. That'd be a good one. Because I think circuit boards are going to start to become the new normal thing that you need hundreds of. Like, a bit like what iron plates were before. At first you need just like 20 iron plates, then 50, then a couple hundred, and then like 500 or something like that. It's like, okay, we gotta scale this up. But now, I'm thinking we're at the point where it's circuit boards. Probably also motors a bit. A fuel generator needs a Mark 1 belt worth of raw oil converted to fuel to stay running. So 30 per minute. Or 60? 60 per minute. Consumes 1 per second. I'm assuming it's a little bit like the coal generators, where it takes them just like a second to burn through. Especially after overclocking. It just chows through it real fast. I'll probably have a a couple fuel guys making fuel for it. And we'll give it like a Mark II bolt or something wild like that. Pure node can feed 4 refineries that need 12.5 generators. Right. Okay. It sounds like it's mostly not a problem then. Heavy modular frames, what I need. Encased pipes, frame, like everything. God. I need 19 of these. Right? Is that right? And then build generator, we can take that off. So for 19 more of those. Oh god. The encased beams I've got being stored. There's that. The pipes I've got right here. Jeez. Screws, a bunch of modular frames. Finish off my stack. Leffler's doing some monster math over here in chat. Run it down, I'll take 1800 megawatts of power. It'll make, for just one pure node. Not even counting overclock. You're cheating reading tables from the wiki. Oh, okay. Hey, data interpolation is an important skill as well. Equally as important, I'd say. Ooh, yeah, demand 1.8 gigawatts at that point. Oh man, we're getting to gigawatt territory. Fuck. Boom. Oh, my pod's returning, right. Hello, pod. You always coming backwards, you shit. Yep, got everything. Okay. So let's see about tearing down. Everything's gonna like power down and panic. There it goes. Doubly. Oh my god. I'll just redo this entire building, how about it? This mess, I don't know if I'm keeping. Maybe. I'll cut you off there. Alright. And I'm out of the inventory space for some of this. Alright. Was this able to get any bigger? Yeah, we could make it a bit bigger. Let's do that. Get rid of this fucking nature. You think you left off your game converting your coal power generators into fuel? Were you the one who mentioned having like 30 coal generators or something absolutely wild? Or was that somebody else? Don't have nearly that many. Okay, somebody was like, yeah, I never really increased over to fuel. I just kept expanding the coal, and they were like, yeah, I have like 31 or something total coal plants now. Engage stroke maneuvers. That's ridiculous. Yeah, okay, we can actually come just like one more. This is just like fun bonus support that doesn't need to really be here anymore because we brought it out. And quit playing with the detonator. Gee, just get out of the water. Oh god. We could come out a little bit more on this side too if needed. No. There we go. Probably have to redo the wire too because it'll complain that it's obstructing or something. Wood, shrooms, leaves, don't need any of that. Flower petals I'll deal with. Oops. Imagine coal plant Satisfactory reaching the 5 to 6 gigawatt mark. That's the world's biggest coal plant's IRL reach. That's a lot of coal. That is a lot of coal. Oh yeah, I'll just straight up have to move you. That also works. I'll take you both out tentatively. We can maybe get by with just having one at the doorway, depending on how this is all laid out. Because we'd have a little bit of coal coming in. This one's just for funsies for looking at this this thing here. Although I could probably just go ahead and do the doorway thing now that I know that that's the thing. With a left door, a little conveyor pole, and there. Better. Yeah, I could do still just like a couple coal set up. Although Really, I wouldn't. I don't need coal at all. I could just straight up upgrade to fuel generators. Give you a bit of a gap from the wall. I don't know where I feed you from. Or even if I bother doing this here. 'Cause, man, we make that stuff so far away. Like it's having to go across the entire factory. Fully overclocked generator in Satisfactory is what, like 150, 125 megawatts? 250%, I think? So, like, these guys would be, what, 50? And the coal would be, yeah, 125. And then this guy'd be 325? No. Double plus half. So 3 plus, yeah, 375. God damn. Can a fuel generator fit in the big room we have beneath? Yes, probably, but I want more refineries in here. This room's this big because the refineries are so tall, but yeah, it would fit. Technically. But that'll be for the refineries, because I got 4 lens coming in, so I want 4 refineries. There's not really enough space out here. Out here there is. Plenty of space out here. Okay. So we can continue my road across out here then. Okay. So how big are these? Basically 3 by 3. I don't think I've got enough room for a 9 by 9, right? I mean, that's asking quite a lot. This was a nice little stream. Until I completely covered it with concrete road and fuel generators. Oh, man. Yeah, it has to be out to here. Then you run to the hill. Yeah. Chop it. Shit, I'm full. Fucking nature, man. Every time. Everywhere I go, it's there. Every time I open my inventory, there's some leaves and shit in there. How did it get there? When did it get there? Why did it get there? I don't know. That's just how it is. And don't suppose I can blow you up, right? Cleared some nature, though. That's nice. Quite happy with that. Fuck you, trees. No, that might not be enough. Oh well. Ah, it totally was. And the last one for good measure. I don't think you break. That'd be amazing if you did, though. But I don't think you do. Yeah. All right. Cleared a little bit more inventory space. Do explosives damage player structures? They don't have HP. Technically, nothing has HP. Nothing visible, at least. So, it's hard to know for certain. I'd like to think they would, though. Concrete. So the old power factory, I don't know what to make of that. That's just sort of there now. And I gotta really make an explorer for myself at some point. Do we really need 3 sacks of wires? Yeah. Yeah. I do. Okay, so yeah, here's what I'm gonna do, because it's a pretty shallow hill. We'll just ramp up a bit. Could probably get by with just the shallow one, right? Let's go let's go with the big ones at the start. A bit of oofta to get up here at first. And then we'll go shallow for the end of it, because it doesn't need to be so high up. Okay. But we would need to go one more to get back on level, otherwise we're like in between floors technically, and that'll get the walls weird. So there.